All right, hello. We're going to start on the D28 build from the kit. Uh, I posted the video for unboxing the kit a couple of weeks ago, or last week, whenever it was. And so we're going to start doing the assembly today. One of the first steps to do is put the rosette in the top. This top came with the rosette channels already cut. That's one of the advantages of buying a kit, is usually this is already done for you. This came from Martin. Martin does these with it's a big round piece of aluminum that has cutters in it. They put the top on a machine. It's like a drill press, comes down and cuts that all at one time. And it is just the right width for these pieces of plastic to go in there to make the rosettes. And you'll see what it looks like here in a few minutes when I glue it in. The original, here you can see, this is one of the outer or inner rosettes. You can see there's pieces of plastic that are black on one side, white on the other side, and then I've got a piece here that's black on both sides. You put those together in the right order, and you come out with a strip that's black, white, black, white, black. And in the middle one here, you have a strip that's black on one side, white on the other, and then a thicker strip that's black on one side, white on the other. Then a strip that's black on one side and black on the other side. And then you repeat the sequence in the other order, going the other way. White, black, white, black. You put that all together and you end up with, when it's sanded down nicely, thin black, thin white, thicker black, thicker white, thin white, etc., 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 as it's laid in the groove there. So, first thing we do, Duco cement. This is it's a real common cement. You used to be able to find it in a lot of places. It's harder to find now because this is what the guys with a very low budget will buy and huff out of a bag to get high from if they don't worry how many brain cells they lose. But it's relatively inexpensive. It's a solvent type of adhesive. It will actually melt the plastic a little bit. So we go around, just slop it in. This is one place where you don't need to worry about neatness. Because it all cleans up in the end. Just slop in a nice amount there, put the lid on so it doesn't fall on everything. All right, this is one of our outer rings. And remember, here at the top, this is the top of the fretboard will come down and cover that much of the rosette. So this is where we start. Up here at the top. This will just fit in exactly all the way around. And I should have taken this. Hang on a second, let me cut this off here. Get a razor blade to cut that off without cutting my fingers off. Go. And we just press that in all the way around until all of it's in. And we just give it a good rubbing like that. And it's in. That's all there is to it. All right, now we go to, before I go any further, I get a pair of side cutters ready because the next piece is going to be long enough where it will overlap. And we're going to have to cut some off of it. So let's go ahead and slop in some more adhesive in here. I'm sure Cindy's going to be glad when this is over because it is getting rather smelly. Yes. Now, the pattern that I just described here, that's the pattern for a D28. There is no reason you have to do that. It's just aesthetic. What we're doing is reproducing a Martin D28 here. Original rosettes were put in guitars to reinforce around the sound hole to keep them from splitting. Keep the wood from splitting. You don't really have to have a rosette. It's just a decorative addition that used to be important because people, let's say the environmental conditions used to vary a lot more back when people heated their homes with a fireplace and then no air conditioning in the summertime. It would cause a lot more movement of the wood from humidity and heat and everything. So now it's just a decorative addition. So you can do, if you're building a guitar from scratch and not worrying about it matching anything, any combination that you would like that looks good to you works just fine. So see, we come around there and I get my side cutters here and I start clipping off pieces. And push it all the way down there in the end. And there we go. There's the center row. So now we go ahead and slop a little more adhesive in here for the inner. You don't want to wait too awfully long, but between putting the adhesive in and putting the plastic in, because that adhesive will set up not relatively rapid, not like not as quickly as Crazy Glue does, but it doesn't take too awfully long for it to set up. And you want to make sure you've got everything arranged in the right order so that it looks right. And there you go. Now see, I've got a lot slopping out of there, and I got to be careful to make sure I clean that up so I don't glue the top to my workbench. That would be embarrassing. Okay. Now, alrighty, there's the rosette. Clean up a little bit of the mess and clean up the glue that's slopped over there. And now that's what the rosette looks like before we sand it. Now you know what you're looking at there. See, this is the way the stuff looks before you glue it in. And what you're looking at is actually the edge of it. That's all that shows. That's why it looks as fine as it does. It actually goes down in the wood a little ways. So we're going to set this aside to dry. And the longer you let it set, overnight is good. I probably won't. I may come back in here tomorrow and sand it down so you see what it looks like. But you want to do this step before you flip the top over and start gluing braces on, because you want to be able to have this lying nice and flat on a surface to sand that down to even that up, because once you start getting braces on there, it's going to be harder to get a nice flat surface to support that to sand it. So that's it for the rosette. We'll get this posted and have another step after this. Thanks.